right, traders, this is going to be the last trading week of June, and I have prepared for us to trade the best setups at the best prices. We are expected to finish the month very, very strong here. June has been one of my best trading months into 2022. And with that being said, in terms of the trading opportunities that I have on my radar, guys, these are going to be very lucrative money-making opportunities. We are at some key, critical, unheard of make it or break it levels. And if you're on the right side of the trend, or if you're on the wrong side of the trend, you cut losses quickly and then you switch sides, you are going to be in a position to make some serious money trading these top 7 weekly option plays. I'm also going to be going over swing trading opportunities, and of course, leap option opportunities are back. I got some leaps, I got some longer term trades on my radar as well. This video is going to be jam-packed with very lucrative money-making trading information and trading plans. So make sure you stay to the end of this video, guys. I'm telling you, the opportunities that I have on my radar, I'm expecting to close out this month very, very strong. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to this channel to stay up to date on this journey. With that being said, let's get right into it. We are going to be going over the SPY. We're going to be going over the VIX. We're going to be going over the top stocks on my radar that I'm planning to trade into this week. Day trading opportunities, swing trading opportunities, and the longer term option opportunities, the leap options, right? We're going to be going over Roblox, Lucid, Gamestop, Mara, Alibaba, Double LY, Meta, SGen, LI, Ultra, Crowd, EOG, XPEV. These are by far the best trading opportunities that I have on my radar. And I can assure you that other people aren't discussing these opportunities. There's a lot of people who are not discussing these opportunities, and they should be, because we are at key critical make it or break it levels, extremely overbought and extremely oversold, where you can make some serious money trading these options. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So first things first, we're going to go over the SPY. How are things looking with the SPY and the VIX? Overall, for the micro, it looks like VIX has more downside and SPY has more upside. That's how things are looking for the short term. We could see some chop, we could see some small pullbacks, but overall, in terms of how things are looking, it does look like SPY wants some more upside. So what has been the overall trend on SPY when, obviously we're macro bearish. So for the macro, we are bearish on the SPY. Whenever SPY hits new 52-week lows, right, it has a nice sell-off, and then it quickly bottoms out, and then what tends to happen? It rips back up to that previous support that it cracked. So what is that? What is it that I'm talking about? For those of you who've been following this channel, you're well aware of this trend. We've been going over this for several months now. So the SPY had its 52-week lows right here at 380.50. Big upside support, ran all the way to 415, right? So once SPY cracks that 52-week low, instead of that big upside move, it's going to have the inverse. It's going to have a big downside move. And once it cracked, as you can see, and turned it into resistance on this day and cracked here as well, it sold off for new 52-week lows going to 362. And then it started to bottom out. So SPY likes to quickly bottom out once it sells off hard from those 52-week lows, and then it likes to rip back up. How high does it typically rip back up when we're in a bearish trend, when we're in a macro bearish sentiment? It tends to rip back up, and it tends to top out towards previous support. So where's our previous support? Well, our previous support was right here at these 52-week lows. Our previous support was right here at $380.50. We did have some also strong consolidation and strong support right here in the $390s to $400 range. So you can say overall, your previous support on SPY is going to be right here at $389.80. And also you can say it's right here at $401.44. So at one of these levels, this is where that bearish trend should start to take some effect. And this is where we should start to see a potential pullback. In terms of how things are looking right now, overall, like SPY could have a pullback, it could drop, it could shop, but overall, within some time, it does look like SPY wants to go to $401.44 to fill the gap that's waiting to fill above. We discussed in our latest video with the top option plays, if you see SPY gap up and if it goes above $380.50 and it starts breaking out, react to support, it's going to rocket and it's going to fill the next gap to $389.80, which would be the new best micro level to buy puts. Now, here's what I want you to understand. Heading into this week, this is going to be very important. We're going to be discussing the make it or break it levels and where SPY is going to be heading, right? So this is our make it or break it level right now, $389.80. I want you to think of this level as the middle. So in terms of how things are looking overall, not saying it's going to happen right away. I personally don't think it's going to happen right away. But in terms of how things are looking overall, right now we are in the middle of the channel. And I want you to think of this micro middle channel. The lows is going to be 378. 378, your previous resistance, that is now support, and there's also a gap to fill below at 378. So we are likely to have a reversal and to have a pump and a spike if SPY sells off to 378. I want you to think of that as the low of this weekly channel, $378. Think of that as the low of this weekly channel, this week we're heading into, right? So I'm speaking for the week. The middle is going to be $389.80. And where's the top? The top, the best price to buy puts is going to be 401.44, right? Now, here's what I want you to understand. We are in another situation where is it going to be, we are in another situation where a bull or bear trap is about to be created for the micro, for the very short-term lucrative trading opportunity, right? So in terms of Friday, there was a very lucrative trading opportunity on the SPY where if you were to buy calls on the 380.50 breakout for the big upside play to fill the gap, there was a very lucrative trading opportunity on the call side. Now, we are in the same situation again. This time, we're in the middle, so it's not 100% the best trading level, but it's going to be a make it or break it level with big upside or downside potential. So let's get into this. I want you to focus on $390. $390 is our new make it or break it level. If you see the SPY struggling, breaking down, reacting as a resistance level, forming a lower high, it's on the back side of the move. You see it forming a double top. You see it forming resistance. It's starting to turn previous support into resistance. It's forming lower highs, say now in the 389.50 range. You're going to want to play puts and ride this back down for the short term. Now, if you see the SPY react as the support level at 390, it's breaking out. It's forming higher support. It's pumping. It's now at 391. We are going to be very likely, once 390 turns into a support level, we will be very likely to fill this gap at 401.44. When is that gap actually going to fill? Once we break above this resistance. So if 390 turns into support, we will be on track for a rip to right here, which is 395.70s. 395.70s is what we call a gap breakout. A gap breakout, this is where a stock gaps down. You take the high of day of that candle. Once it goes above the high, so it goes above the high 395.78, there's no resistance. So it's going to start to go up to fill the gap right here at 401.44, which is the best price to buy puts. So I want you to understand right now, the best price to buy calls is at 378, the low of the channel. The best price to buy puts is at 401.44. And I'm speaking for this week, right? And we are currently in the middle. The middle is make it or break it. So SPY is going to try to decide early into this week if it wants to fill this gap first or if it wants to fill this gap first. But no matter what it does, one thing I can say is we are very likely to have reversals, gap close reversals, where when SPY fills this gap at 401.44, we have a reversal and it starts pulling back. And when SPY fills this gap at 378, SPY has a reversal and we start pumping up. We are very likely to have reversals in both situations, especially when SPY goes back to 365.86, very strong reversal on calls there, right? So I just want you to understand that. That's more of a stress-free situation. That's more of a much better trading situation. Right now, we're in the middle of the channel and it's going to try to decide which gap it wants to fill first. So as traders, we have to determine right now, if we are choosing to trade in the middle, we have to determine if this is support or resistance. It's as simple as that. And you use a very tight stop loss once you make your determination if you do want to take that trade. And if you get stopped out, you can quickly switch sides. But your best price, if you are trading in the middle, is going to be 390. 390 is going to be your best price. Whether you play calls, whether you play puts, you use a tight stop, like a one, if SPY goes 1 point against you, you kind of just stop out. And then if you like, you can switch sides. We're basically trying to determine if it's bullish or bearish at this level. But what I'm telling you is it should be bearish at this level, 401.44, and it should be bullish at this level, 378.06. So that's my current thoughts on the SPY. And in terms of, like I said, where we're at right now, overall it's micro bullish, but I can definitely see this having a little pullback or having some chop. And I gave you guys the best prices to buy the calls, 378, and the best prices to buy the puts, 4140. Right now, we're in the middle trying to determine if this is a support or resistance level. SPY just filled the gap. In terms of how has it been reacting, it has been reacting as a resistance level. So as you can see, it hit 390 as soon as it filled the gap. It pulled back to 388.69. So far it is reacting as a resistance level, but it's still holding. So we do have to see. But what we do know is it is attempting to react as a resistance level. So if this gap's down and it pumps back up to fill this gap at 390.08, you're going to want to play puts if it reacts as a resistance. If this gaps up, I personally wouldn't do anything. If it gaps up, I personally wouldn't do anything. The key level, if this does gaps up, we will be on track to, test 395.70, and that's the make it or break it level. If it breaks out, it fills the gap at 411.44. If it reacts as a resistance there, then it sells off. But if this gaps up, I personally wouldn't look to do anything really. I would wait for a pullback at 390 and then see if it reacts to support. So if it gaps down, you can look for puts. If it rips back to 390 and reacts as a resistance level, if it gaps up and then trends back down, you can look for calls if it reacts as a support level, right? And then calls right here, puts right here at 401.44 and calls right here at 378.06. Those are the best prices. Right now, we're at a key critical make it or break it price. So there's going to be a trading opportunity coming up very early into the week. And then later into the week, where you're going to have potential overbought put opportunity here and oversold call opportunity here for some micro trades. So get ready, guys. It's going to be a phenomenal week. I gave you guys the best key levels to be trading at. So the three best levels that I want you to focus on: 390, 401.44, and 378, right? So best level to buy. This is the middle. This middle level is going to help us determine which gap is going to fill first. You don't have to trade at the middle. And this is the best price to sell and buy the puts, 401.44. So there you go. Focus on those three levels heading into this week. If this reacts as a resistance, we're going to be on track to fill this gap at 378. If that does occur, we should see a pump at 378. If this breaks out and reacts to support, we're going to be on track to test $395. If that breaks out, 396 breaks out, then we will be on track to fill the gap, and then that should be a put opportunity right there. So there you go. Best price to buy calls, best price to sell, best price to buy puts. Middle is make it or break it to help us determine which gap is going to fill first if you do want to make that trade, right? So that's my thoughts. That's my analysis on the SPY. Let's go over stocks, guys. We got some phenomenal opportunities. I'm saving some of the best ones till the end. Let's go over some stocks here. So in terms of Roblox is at a make it or break it resistance level. Roblox has very, very strong resistance at 36.43. This is make it or break it. If it reacts as a resistance level, we will see a push down to fill the gap. We got a gap to fill below right here at 34.48. So if you see Roblox reacting as a resistance level in this 36.50 range to 36.90, you're going to want to play some puts. If it breaks out, I would just kind of sit on the sidelines and I would wait to play puts again because we're in an overall bearish sentiment. You don't want to be kind of like chasing these breakouts, right? Just look at how low these stocks were just a week ago, right? So with that being said, if it does break out, your next best level for puts on Roblox is going to be these two levels, $42 and $44.97. I think it will work well at $42. See how there was a gap to fill right here? It fills the gap, sells off hard. So $42. If Roblox breaks above and turns 36.42 into support, we will be seeing this trading in the low 40s. Best price to buy puts for the gap close reversal is at $42. So the key levels to watch for on Roblox right now, 36.50 zone to 36.80, make it or break it. If it reacts as a resistance, it fills the gap at 34.48. That's where you want to lock in the gains. If it breaks out, reacts as support, we will be on track to go into the low 40 range. Best overall price to be buying the put options is going to be right here at $42. That's what you want to wait for and look for on Roblox. Make sure you're setting your price alerts. Always set your price alerts. If you want to trade the best setups at the best prices, you have to put yourself in a position to trade the best prices at the best setups. And the way you do that is by setting price alerts at the best prices so you could trade the best setups at the best prices. So with that being said, let's go over Lucid now. Lucid has been on a strong uptrend for 4 days in a row. It did see a very, very small red day. In terms of Lucid, we're getting interesting here. We're getting fairly interesting. We're trading towards some key resistance levels. I'm mainly on the sidelines overall though, because it's just, there's no gaps to fill above. It's kind of sloppy. I mean, if this 1920s reacts as a resistance, we will see some continued downtrend. But overall, I would mainly just focus on Roblox right now. I think Roblox is going to be the more predictable one. I would sit on the sidelines for Lucid right now. I wouldn't do anything on that one. GameStop. GameStop looks really bearish. I don't think this looks bullish at all. This looks overall bearish. I've been studying GameStop, and if you just look at its chart, and whenever it forms this kind of candlestick, a key resistance, it tends to sell off. This is at make it or break it levels, and this does not look that bullish at all. So if we do a quick, analysis here in terms of the price action on GameStop, you can see we have very strong resistance. We have very strong resistance right here in this lower 150 range with some nice downside potential where it likes to quickly sell off into the 125 to low 120 range, right? So we've topped out 3 times now. 1, 2, 3, multiple tops on GameStop, like a triple top on this daily chart. And it's got so much resistance right here. It's failing to break above these lower highs. It's failing to go back to the 180s, 190, $200 range. And this doesn't look bullish. This candlestick right here looks very bearish. So I would say overall, we're due for some downside potential within some time into this week on GameStop. Basically, if this previous support right here at 135, this previous support with big upside to 150, if that reacts as a resistance level, we will be on track to crash to 120 to 125. So if you see it struggling, you see it reacting as a resistance, right? Because just look at this. It's been failing to break out. It's been failing to turn this resistance into support once it broke out. And then this is very bearish. It cracks through that strong support in the 136 range, bottoms at 131, pumps back up, and now it's trying to sell off again. So basically what I'm telling you is if this support reacts as a resistance, this confirms that this is a very bearish move on GameStop, and overall it will go back to 120 to 125 this week, as long as this 4-day channel support, which is at 135.50 to 136, reacts as a resistance. GameStop is selling off. Judging by how the chart looks, judging by how it's been reacting and responding, judging by the price action on Friday, where it cracked where it had a breakout, but it ended up being a fake out, cracked resistance, and it cracked support, very strong support at 135 on this channel, cracked through, pump back up. So on this pump, if that support right here reacts as a resistance, that's very bearish. If we see this support level, this 130, 136, 136.50 react as a resistance, that confirms that GameStop is bearish. That confirms that this overall move is really bearish, and we will be on track for 125 to 120. So keep an eye on GameStop. In terms of MARA, in terms of Mara stock, for this one, I would say wait. If you're interested in buying calls, I think we are due for a little gap close reversal. I think we are due for a little bit of upside potential on Mara. I would wait. Wait for the gap to fill at 705. 705 is going to be a key level of interest. If you see it reacting as support at 705 to 680, you're going to want to look to potentially play some calls. Keep an eye on MARA. It's due for a bounce. It recently filled this gap right here. As soon as it filled the gap, it bottomed up and started going up higher. And there is a gap to fill above right here at $8.53. So keep an eye on this one. We could see a gap close reversal at 705. So make sure you set your price alert for that one. That trading plan is decent. Definitely not the best out of all of them. In terms of Alibaba, Alibaba is getting very interesting, guys. I want you to pay attention to this because this is make it or break it for Alibaba stock. You could see right here, let me clear up all of this. All these lines you're seeing, this is all past trades, past analysis, right? Right here, there was a gap to fill in Alibaba with key resistance at $124.43. It fills that gap, has a reversal, and sells off, right? So we're approaching a key make it or break it resistance level on Alibaba. You could see we got very strong resistance on this stock in the low 120s, 123 to 127, 128 range, in between that range, right? And we are approaching a gap. And I want to bring awareness to this because look, it did it again. It had another gap close reversal. There was a gap to fill at 117.50. It filled the gap on this day. Ever since it had that first red day after, it had a reversal and sold off hard, right? We have multiple gaps to fill below. We have a gap to fill above at key major resistance at 119.62. So guys, I want you to start focusing on Alibaba. Once you see that first red day, once you see that resistance starting to form at 119.62, this key gap fill level, you're going to want to play puts. So wait for Alibaba to form the first red day, wait for it to look bearish at 119, or wait for it to look bearish at 119.62 and look to play puts. Overall, it's due for some downside potential. We got multiple gaps to fill below. We got to wait to see how it reacts at 119.62. This should be a phenomenal setup. All eyes on Alibaba at 119.62. And remember, if it breaks above the gap level, reset the price alert. So see how my price alert is set at or above 119. If it looks bullish, then I do nothing. But I'll reset the price alert. I'll set it to at or below 119 because it's above this time. And then once that price alert triggers, if it reacts as a key breakdown and starts selling off and cracking, then I'll play the puts. So you have to wait for it to react as bearish. So if your price alert triggers and it's not reacting the way you want it to, don't take the trade, even though it's at the best price. Just reset the price alert and wait for that to trigger, and then wait for it to react how you want it to react. Has to react as a resistance, has to be forming lower highs, has to be struggling. That's what you got to be focusing on. So keep an eye on Alibaba. LLY. LLY is very, very interesting. Overall, this is a very strong and a bullish stock. What I will say for this one is it has some potential if you wait for the first red day. We just hit all-time highs. It filled the highest gap that's waiting to fill above right here at 323.48. It finally filled it, but it's still bullish and it's still going up. So for this one, I think we can start to see a downtrend once we get that first red day. Once we get that first red day, I think it's going to be safe to play some puts on this one. Not going to be the easiest trade, but I am waiting for a first red day short, a first red day put options. So in terms of the options that I choose, guys, I'm basically doing at the money options. Usually I go with the strike that is closest to at the money. So it's not really in the money. It's basically slightly out of the money, right? So if a stock is at 325 and there's a 326 strike and there's a 324 strike and there's a 325 strike, I'll typically go with the 325 strike or the out of money 326 strike, right? So I'm never really going deeper in the money. It's either at the money strike or slightly out of the money strike. Those are the two strikes that I choose. In terms of my expiration, when day trading, I do tend to go with the closest expiration. Swing tradings are different. With that being said, wait for the first red day on LLY. META. So we're in the same situation for META as we are in SPY, right? We're at make it or break it level, guys, right here, 169.35. I played puts on Friday, and me saying that, I mean, just look at META, right? This looks really fucking bullish. There's a lot of people probably thinking that I lost a lot of money on puts. I made a 40% return, and I was up 60% on meta put options. And I would really encourage you to go back and watch my previous live trading video because it shows you how I was able to do well trading put options on an overall very bullish day. In order to do that, you have to have perfect timing and perfect entries. And that's exactly what I did on Meta stock using my gap close reversal strategy. There's a gap to fill on Meta at 169.35. Right here, there was a gap to fill. So as soon as Meta stock filled this gap right here, you can see as soon as it filled the gap, it formed a bearish candlestick and it started going down. And it started forming a lower highs. See how it's not going back to the highs? It's forming lower highs, maintaining lower highs right here, starting to break down. As soon as it started breaking down right here, I played the puts. I was up 60% in 15 minutes being in those puts. And I locked in my gains for 40%. Watch the live trading video using the gap close reversal strategy. It literally got me in towards the top and out towards the lows. I locked in my gains. This was a perfect gap close reversal opportunity. Unfortunately, I didn't play the call side on Friday, but I did very well in the puts. But in terms of the calls, man, big shout out to G-Roar within the chat. G-Roar within the chat, man. He's an amazing trader on the SPY, man. He's absolutely killing SPY, killing SPX. He had a phenomenal idea. He was holding calls all day, playing for the gap to fill. And then as soon as the gap started to fill towards the end of the day, he closed out his position, absolutely killing it, man. Like I said, if that 380.50 reacts to support, starts breaking out, SPY is going to rip to fill the gap. So with that being said, in terms of META, we are at make it or break it level, guys. Just like SPY, this is our make it or break it level on META. It's going to be $169.35. We are currently above it. If it continues to react to support, we will be on track to fill the next gap at 175.57, which will be the new best price for meta puts, 175.37, right? So right now, I'm kind of just sitting on the sidelines for a meta stock. In terms of SGen, now we're going to be getting into the swing trading opportunities. So those were the day trading plays that I have for you guys in terms of the best ones that we're seeing into this week. SPY, Roblox, GameStop, Alibaba. Okay, so in terms of top three for day trading, SPY, Roblox, and Alibaba. Those are going to be our top three for day trading. Now, we're going to be getting into swing trades and leap option trades. Swing trades are more short-term, holds, and leap options are more of the longer-term holds. Those can be, some people say 6 months. I mainly trade, so for me, it's pretty much a couple weeks to a month. I call them leaps. But anyways, let's get into that. So SGen. SGen overall is bullish, but it's due for a pullback, right? So in this situation, what I'm looking at is we have a gap to fill at $183.62 right here. It's towards a resistance level with big downside potential. It's extremely overbought for the micro. It's extremely overextended for the micro. It wasn't too long ago in actually beginning of May, this was at new 52-week lows, and now we're shooting up very quickly to nearly new 52-week highs, and we're approaching the highest gap to fill above. This is what we call an overreaction. So we're looking for a leap put option opportunity, right? So when I pull the trigger on these plays, they'll be alerted in real time, as always within Trader Society. Right now, I'm just showing you the watch list. I'm showing you some preparation. I'm going to mention some key levels. I'm going to mention some things that I'm looking for. But in terms of these plays right now, I'm not getting in on these right now. I just added them to my watch list. They're on my radar. Once they hit specific prices, once they hit the confirmations, once they react the way I want to, then I'm going to pull the trigger. But these are going to be on my radar for some leap options trades. I haven't made a leap options trade in a little bit here, and I'm now finally seeing some great opportunities for leaps. So this is what's going to be on my radar as of now. SGen put options, level of interest, $183.62. So for leaps and for me to enter a swing, the confirmations I look for are bearish candlesticks. I also look for it to turn dark blue on the squeeze. See how it turns dark blue on my squeeze indicator right here? As soon as it turns dark blue, what happens? It sells off as soon as it turns dark blue, right? And if you look at the VIX just turned dark blue. So that's not good for the VIX, but that's great for SPY. So anyways, that's one of the confirmations and one of the indicators I'll use to enter a leap options trade. By far not my most important one, but it does tend to work, not 100% of the time, like nothing will. But anyways, in terms of SGen, that's one confirmation I'll look for. Now, in terms of how to predict tops, what I look for in terms of tops when entering trades, when entering swing trades. So I'll look for something like this, consolidation at highs. This is what we call consolidation at highs, where it's just sitting, it's failing to break out of the channel, it's forming lower highs, then it starts to break down, right? So I'll look for bearish candlesticks, I'll look for bearish wicks, I'll look for consolidation towards major resistance, I'll look for weakness, I'll look for it to struggle, and then look at this. As soon as it triggers dark blue on the SPY right here, look at this. It sells off very hard. This indicator works, man, and this is what I'm going to use for my leaps. So with that being said, I gave you guys the price. My level of interest is going to be $183.62. That's going to be my level of interest. That is the highest gap to fill above. And I'm just simply waiting. I'm waiting for consolidation towards highs. I'm waiting for bearish candlesticks. I'm waiting for it to struggle. I'm waiting for weakness. Like I said, if you see how this stock crashes, this particular stock doesn't crash right away. It tends to sit for a couple days. For example, right here, let's just look. Is this crashing right away? No, it's sitting for a few days. It's sitting for a few days. It's sitting for a few days, right? So you got to wait. I mean, with this one, I'm noticing it has like this triangle. It forms this triangle top with these lower highs, this triangle top with these lower highs right here, this triangle top with these lower highs, then it sells off. Each stock is different patterns, different trends. What I'm noticing for this one is there seems to be a triangular pattern when it tops out, it seems to form a triangle and then it seems to form lower highs. So that's one thing I'll be looking for. Boom, right there. Will I do that for every stock? No, I'll do it for this stock because that's how this stock reads. That's how this stock trades. If you just look at the history, whenever it forms that triangle and then forms the lower high, it tends to sell off for a little bit. So that's one confirmation I'll be looking for. The triangle pattern, I'll be looking for lower highs. I'll be looking for resistance, right? So in terms of my style of trading and in terms of how I'm approaching this is me trading the chart per stock, right? So I'm trading the chart, I'm catching the trends, I'm analyzing the trends, right? I'm not reading books and learning these patterns. I'm literally basing the trades based off of what the chart is telling me. So that's one of the indicators and confirmations that I'll be looking for towards that key price level. So I'll keep you updated on that one. This is going to be another one. LI. So LI. All-time highs are at 47.70. We're at 40.79. I love finding stocks that are at 52-week highs or at all-time highs that are having overreactions with big downside potential in a bear market. Those are the type of leap option plays that I like buying puts into, not the ones that are extremely oversold at lows. I like big moves. I like overreactions. I like key resistance levels of big downside potential, right? So for this one, the highest gap to fill above is at $43.96. So I'm looking for bearish confirmations, bearish candlesticks at this level, first red days at this level. That's what I'm waiting for. This is going to be a phenomenal one, man. Look at this thing, man. It's so exhausted and there's so many gaps to fill below. It just can't keep doing this. I will say though, they typically don't form candlesticks like this, especially towards the highs. These are some very weird candlesticks. This is a very weird candlestick that we're getting on LI, but an even more weird one where we could see some more short-term potential upside. This is a very weird candlestick at highs as well. Very weird. So I'm waiting for these bearish confirmations to form. I'm going to give it a little bit patience, give it a little bit of time, give it a couple days into bearish confirmation on daily. Once we get them, then I'll look to play the puts, right? So in terms of expirations, I have to wait. I have to wait until I get my confirmation. Until I discuss expirations. I will say with these though, they're probably going to be like 2-month expirations. I'm looking to go more than 40 days, more than 40-day expiration most likely. I have to see what the volume is. I have to see how the confirmations look. Another one on my radar is Ultra. So for Ultra, I want to try puts at 422.35. This one is going to be one of my least favorites out of all the ones I'm mentioning, but it is due for a pullback. So when we get to 422.35, we form the resistance, we form the bearish candlesticks confirmations. I'll look to swing some puts, give that one some time. For crowd stock, I'm waiting for this key level right here. There's this one's a little tricky, but I think we could see a pullback at $200. Nice key whole round number with some nice downside potential. So I'm waiting for $200. We do also have a gap to fill right here at 214. We have another gap to fill here at 235. But I want to see how we react to $200. If we don't react bearish right there, then I'll wait for 214. We don't react bearish there, then I'll wait for 235. That's what I'm waiting for on crowd stock, right? EOG, man. Like I said, what did I tell you guys? I told you guys I'm saving the best for last. I think we got to play calls on this, man. This is a very strong stock. This is a very, very, very strong stock. Look at the past year. Ever since, look at this, man. This is, when is this? This is August, right? Pretty much for almost 10 months. This has been a straight uptrend for almost 10 months. So if you were to just buy leap call options, every time it had a decent dip and hold, you'd be making money on this. And this is a big dip. So I'm going to put my odds in the favor, right? What does the favor say? Odds in my favor says we go back up. And if we don't, we don't. Like, this is a good opportunity. And I want to take advantage of this because this stock normally doesn't dip like this. So it's due for some sort of bounce. And we got multiple gaps to fill above. It's been on a very strong uptrend for 10 months straight. The vast majority of the people winning on this stock have been the ones buying the call options. And it's been pushing for new all-time highs, and it's been filling all the gaps. It's been recovering very quickly. Look at this rapid sell-off. It goes down just as fast as it goes up. It recovers very quickly, right? I think we're due for some upside potential. So we are now trading at key critical 3-month heavy support. It's been on a very strong uptrend for like 10 months now. It recovers very quickly after selling off very hard like it does. This might have been the hardest sell-off it's had all year. We went from 146 all the way down to $105 in like 2 weeks, right? Very hard sell-off. Look at the support, look at the wicks. Look at this. This tells you everything you need to know. The low of this candle, 103.21. Has a rapid sell-off. Strong wick. Everyone's buying right here at 103.21. Look at the chart right here. It bottomed 103.47. Strong wick. Had a sell-off. Rockets back up. We're starting to see a repeat in history. It recently bounced at 104.96. The best price is going to be 103. That mid 103 range, right? Best price to be buying the dip. Ride this back up. We're due for a run to bare minimum $117.65 gap fill. More likely 120 to 127. This is bullish. I'm waiting to buy the dip. So for this one, I have two levels of interest. And this trade will likely be the leap option trade that I take first out of all of them. $107.17. If it fills the gap and reacts to strong port, I'll look to buy there and add at 103. 103 is going to be your best price for calls. This is overall bullish and due for some sort of rip up, due for some sort of spike. You can see right here when the dividend gets issued, it started selling off rapidly after that happening. The dividend got issued right here, started selling off rapidly. Same pattern, same trend, same price. Take advantage of these lucrative trading opportunities. There was more than 3 opportunities this year to be buying at this price for very nice profits. So why not try another attempt, right? So take advantage of this trend. This is a very rare trend. It's a very rare situation where you see such a big pullback on this stock that's consistently pushing for new all-time highs, multiple gaps to fill above, key support already bouncing towards that key support. This is the play. This is going to be one of my favorite leap option trades. The only thing I dislike about it is we are in a bearish sentiment, but it looks bullish, so I'm going to take advantage of it. Now, for this one, I can give an expiration since it is expected to be the one I take first. I'm looking into August. I'm thinking a August 19th in the money strike. For this one, I'm looking to go in the money, and it's most likely going to be a $100 strike. $100 strike in the money. Get in at $15. Say I get in at $15, it's at 111. My break even is at 115. So there you go. XPEV. XPEV is going to be the next one. We're due for some sort of put opportunity, right? We just got to wait. Look at this, man. It triggers blue right here. First day it triggers blue, it sells off, right? So we got to wait for the blue trigger. We got to wait for the resistance to form. In terms of what are my levels of interest to buy some leap put options on this one, there's 3 levels, just like the just like crowd stock. So let's discuss these levels, man, because we are overextended and this is getting very interesting here. So let's see right here, $36.37. There's a gap. There's also a gap to fill at $37.89. And also around here we have $40.70 and $41.81. We got a lot of gaps to fill in this one. This one's going to look interesting. So we just got to wait until things look bearish and until one of these gaps fill and it starts looking bearish and it starts forming the bearish confirmations. We'll look to play puts on that. So we got to wait for the confirmations. This one's going to be a little bit tricky. Those are going to be my top setups heading into this week. So like I said, for day trading opportunities, SPY. And then in terms of our swing trading opportunity on SPY, once SPY reacts as a resistance, forms consolidations towards bearish candlesticks like this at 401.44, that's where we look to swing trade puts. So the SPY is also going to help us determine when to be buying our leap put options as well. If we see it struggling at 401.44 and it's failing to break out, we're going to want to look to buy some swing some puts on stocks that correlate with SPY, or you can just trade the SPY, right? So in terms of upcoming day trading opportunities, SPY, Roblox, GameStop, Alibaba, those are currently my favorites. I'm going to keep an eye on Meta too. That's looking interesting. In terms of my favorite leap option trades coming up, I'll say EOG. EOG is definitely up there, one of my top favorites. In terms of other ones that I'm really liking that I would say are highly predictable, Ultra, I'm going to keep a close eye on. This LI, really liking this LI setup. This SGen, I'm liking this setup as well. So yeah, we're going to have a phenomenal trading opportunity, trading week coming up, guys. I'm really looking forward to crushing it with you guys again. If you do want to be a part of Trader Society, that is going to be the first link down below in the description. You can start trading with us live at Market Open. If you want to see what it's like to trade with me live at Market Open, go back and watch my previous video, the live trading session. That was the live trading session from Friday. You can also watch the playlist. I have a playlist of some live trading videos. I'm going to be uploading a lot more of those. So within Trader Society, once you join, you get instant access It's a one-time fee, no recurring fees, right? It's a one-time fee, and you get lifetime access. As soon as you join, you get instantly access to everything stated on the link down below in the first description. The video explains everything, and read all the information on the page. It explains everything that's included within Trader Society. Just to give you some background, you get to watch me trade options live every single day at market open. You get to ask me questions live on spot during the streams. You get to participate within the chat room and network with traders in the chat room. We have one trader within the chat room who's worth over 10, yes, I said that right, 10 figures, and he masters SPY. He makes a couple trades on SPY, and he doesn't do quick scalps. He holds for the day, and these are big wins. I'm telling you, G-War is absolutely killing it within the chat. Big shout out to him. He crushed calls on Friday. So big shout out to G-War within the chat. And we have a couple of great moderators in there who can really help assist you in terms of how to trade price action, how to trade these option contracts. So with that being said, you get access to that community where you can ask me questions and send us direct messages live on spot as well. You do also get access to stock analysis and the written version of the watch list. So whenever I see an opportunity within real time, I will post it in the watch list. Some days there's not going to be opportunities. Other days I will post in the watch list because there's a great opportunity, right? We're looking to trade the best setups at the best prices. So you get access to that. And then, of course, the video lesson library. The video lesson library is where you get to learn how to trade these stocks, how to trade these options. You get to learn the unique price action gap trading strategies that I've created, how to trade both ways, both long and short, both calls and puts, how to trade a bear market, how to trade a bull market, right? This whole year, we've been taking advantage of this put option market, while most investors are buying the dip and losing their money and continuing to lose their money and run out of the money because they bought every single dip and it keeps dipping, while we're simply trading put options, making a killing, and then we're compounding our accounts to create more wealth. And then what are we going to do with all this money? Well, when we feel it's a good time to start investing, we're going to use some of our trading profits to invest into stocks, right? When they're at phenomenal, even lower trading prices. In the meantime, we're going to continue to focus on trading and compounding. And then once there's a great investment opportunity, I know prices are looking low now, but I've got a feeling within the next 6 months to 1 year, they're going to be looking a lot lower. So I'm just going to continue to compound. And then once I feel it's a great time to invest, I'm going to deploy a lot of my trading portfolio into long-term investments. And then I'm going to regrow a much smaller account. That's how you got to do it. So that's my game plan. And you guys are going to witness me, my first time into this new channel that I've started. You'll witness me make my first investments, into this year. I haven't been investing. I've been all cash, day trading, day trading and compounding the account, and saving some for upcoming investment opportunities as well. So with that being said, that's going to be included within Trader Society as well. The long-term option plays, the leap option plays, the investment option plays, day trading opportunities, the real-time trailers. There's so much more to it. The video lesson library where you get to learn the trading strategies, you get to learn the psychology, the mindset to trading, the risk management, the position sizing, right? So that's going to be it. So if you want to check it out, if you want to join, if you want to get started with us this week and finish this month very, very strong and set the rest of this up, the next 6 months into this year, set yourself up for success. This is going to be the opportunity, guys. I'm going to leave it down in the description below. It's going to be the first link. I will see you guys tomorrow live at Market Open. I'm going to absolutely crush it. I also got to get this camera fixed. For some reason, my camera, it just keeps not focusing. I just don't understand why. I never had this problem before. Bought new lens and everything. Maybe it's just the camera, not the lens. I'll figure that out. But yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow live at Market Open. I'm looking forward to crushing, guys. I'm so excited for this week because I'm telling you the opportunities that I'm seeing on the SPY, that I'm seeing on Roblox, that I'm seeing on Alibaba. These are going to be some phenomenal trading opportunities, and I'm looking forward to it. Things you can expect more of moving forward. You also do get access to the recordings of the live stream. So if you miss a live stream or if you want to rewatch the live stream, you get full access to all of the recordings of the live streams we do, right? Things I'm going to be doing more, things to look out for. So, the top option plays, this is where we prepare for the week, and we also prepare into the week for new plays and updated price action analysis and stuff like that. So the trading plans, you guys seem to love those on the channel, and expect more live trading footage. Be on the lookout for the live trading footage, right? Wins and losses, be on the lookout for them. I'm going to be posting a lot more live trading footage with recaps. So I'm going to start the video with a recap at first, so you understand the trade before I show the live trade, and then show the live trade. So it starts off with a trade recap, explaining the trade for the day, recapping the trade. Then it shows the live trading footage that was filmed within Trader Society on the live trade stream at Market Open, right? That's going to be a separate video. And then we're going to have our plan videos. That's going to be how we trade the best setups at the best prices, our trading plans, these types of videos. So expect to see those 2 videos a lot, multiple times, every single week. Expect to see them, right? Whenever I trade, I'm going to try my best to get those live trading and trade recaps out as a separate video. That's something new that I'm doing on this channel. So be on the lookout for those, because a lot of you guys have been missing them for some reason. So be on the lookout for those as well. So that's what's expected moving forward with the channel. And there's also going to be some new content to be continued to share as well. I will see you guys tomorrow live at Market Open. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'm looking forward to working with you tomorrow morning.